Hey, can I borrow you for a minute? Just come over here to the side. Go step in my office for a second. Just me and you. Nobody else is around.
What? Good. I love you, Taco. What's up?
Okay, babe. It's just come from me.
It's just us.
You have got to minimize the amount of attention-seeking hoes and thought micromanaging fucking managers in your life. You have got to kick these hookers to the curb. What are you doing?
Okay. So here's where the paradigm shift comes in. Tonka, I hear you, and this is why my mind is so fucked right now. I have Tonka and Jim saying, "Stop hanging out with these thoughts." I have my manager
just these thoughts. And
then I have Worski, JF kind of like Aaron, Brittany Venti likes Aaron, like I like Aaron, like holy shit, like I don't know. I feel like everyone just tells me what to do. Like I sort of just want to make my own decisions.
Yeah, talk good.
And that's why I was getting defensive, because people are like, Bake, do this, Bake, do that, Bake, talk to this girl, Bake, stop talking to this thought, blah, blah, blah. And so at a certain point, I got pissed because I was like, yo, this is my own life. Just like, shut the fuck up. Like that's why I've been so defensive, is like, I just want to do my own thing and I can't please everybody. And I realized that I can't please everybody. But do you understand that?
Didn't it seem like life was going pretty fucking swimmingly until the recent influx of hoes? Don't you think it was a bit easier before?
But you were trying to cop a look at her ass earlier.
I didn't have to cop a look at anything. She was standing there showing it.
Oh yeah. You were
so
like, turn over. I want to see your ass so you can be a 7.
No.
Wow, Tonka,
I could get a 7. Had an ass.
Exactly.
Had an ass.
So I'm gonna say this on record. I'm Team Aaron. And all these guys that have criticized her have brought her on their shows for content and then orbiting around her and
shit.
Who gives a fuck, Bake? Why can't we invite her on?
No, you can, but
so what's your
you
point?
Be consistent. You can't say she's a fucking thought, la la la, and then
I seem like one, and then they realize it doesn't.
There you go.
I don't care. I get it. Trust me, I'm not.
She can thought post and still be likable, though. You can be a thought and still be liked.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I get it. I totally get it. I mean, people have tried to give me the same criticisms about Venti. They said, "Big, stop being friends with Venti. She's degenerate." Blah blah blah. And I don't. I don't care. Venti's fucking hilarious, and she's a nice person. She's been a good friend to me, and Aaron's done the same. So that's my stance on that, Tonka.
Maybe she's a good friend. Maybe so. But I was just reflect. You a grown folk. You can do what you want. I am.
What you just saw is a brief clip from one of many endless streams over the last few days involving the alt-right YouTuber / internet media celebrity Baked Alaska. Who is formerly of BuzzFeed and was a major figure at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. This stuff is so grotesque, and I just want to kind of make clear or make sure that people don't sort of look at all this infighting in the alt-right and sort of consider it sort of a permanent victory. That's not my position. You need to remember that when the Nazis came to power in Germany, they were a complete clusterfuck, and they just basically came into power because the Social Democrats at the time were worse off. So never mistake winning a battle for winning the war. The thing about anti-fascism, the reason that it's been around so long, is that it's an ongoing struggle from the inception of the philosophy to now, to 50 years from now, to however long it takes for the earth to eat up humanity. The struggle against fascism is permanent, and you can win battles and you can make progress against them. The second that you declare victory over the right wing, this is why liberals center-right liberals were shocked by Trump is because they sort of declared victory during the Obama era. The right wing was over. Then every election that the Republicans lose, you'll always hear Democrats in the United States of America declare that the Republican Party is dead. It's over. It's never the left-right seesaw never stops playing out. And that is the kind of the substance of this. Like, I want to dance on the grave of the alt-right as they turn and stab each other in the back and eat each other for super chats, and sort of castigate and cast out people for weird paranoid accusations. I mentioned earlier on Twitter today that the catchphrase of the alt-right is becoming, I never liked that guy anyway. I never liked that guy anyway. The idea, as all of these, we've been standing outside, observing the alt-right and observing how toxic and cancerous these people are. And they have organized themselves around defending, very, very sort of malignant personalities for a long time. And what's fascinating about these malignant personalities is that the second their bacon is in the fire, they throw each other under the bus immediately and with extreme prejudice. Whenever anybody transgresses against the orthodoxy, the brand. See, this is that deep relationship between capitalism and fascism, because what Baked Alaska did in all of his deranged meltdown was transgress against the alt-right brand. This was the reason that Ricky Vaughn, who I mentioned a few weeks ago, was doxxed by Christopher Cantwell and Paul Nealon. They transgressed against the orthodoxy. They transgressed against the white power narrative that is at the heart of the alt-right. And to some extent, they're not morally right, but they're accurate. Which is to say that, yes, the alt-right is a white power, white nationalism movement. It's about explicit white nationalism, because why even bother departing from the conventional right wing that was doing all these things via dog whistle if you're not going to spell out that the alt-right is about anti-Semitism, the alt-right is about genocide and race supremacy and peaceful ethnic cleansing. So I understand why these people are alienated from each other, but also I'm fascinated by the spectacle of everybody, sort of, number one, the people who want to leave the movement pretending that they never supported it in the first place and that they were never for white identity, because it's horseshit. I was around long enough to see Ricky Vaughn when he was in white identity deep, when that was part of his brand before the movement started collapsing. So now you've got 50% of rats getting off the sinking ship, and then the other 50% sticking around and eating each other. That's where the alt-right is today. And, Antifa, because people have talked about, what has Antifa done in all this? The alt-right is consuming each other, so Antifa couldn't have done much. They're tearing themselves apart. And here's my opinion on that. I feel like the purpose of Antifa was to stop the alt-right from becoming mainstream, to call out their manipulations of language, to keep them from becoming mainstream fixtures in the university system, to keep them from becoming mainstream media personalities. And they give us a lot of help, because what's really funny is that, for example, like Richard Spencer was really close to mainstream celebrity when Hailgate happened, where he started sig heiling with the audience and saying "Hail Victory." They almost can't help themselves. They almost can't stop spelling it out, because they need to, because their ego is screaming for them to be special, to be different, for them to be the edgy ones that go all the way with where those reactionary politics go. So the number one thing Antifa did was keep the discourse honest and force the alt-right to spell out that they were Nazis, to spell out that they were anti-Semites, to spell out, because the liberal establishment was not going to hold these people accountable. As a matter of fact, the liberal establishment, saw money in pandering to the audience that loved the alt-right and felt disaffected, and people like Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson, Gad Saad, all those civic nationalist cucks. If they were in charge and we didn't press those people and we didn't protest Christina Hoff Sommers and we didn't protest Sargon, we didn't call them fascist or fascist apologists, they would have done the dirty work. They would have made it so that Richard Spencer was a fixture in your local political discourse, that he was invited on panel programs, on mainstream news programs. So that was our big triumph, was that we didn't let people get off with bullshit. We didn't let people go into places of learning, institutions of learning that are supposed to be about truth and facts, and peddle horseshit. So, that's more complex than saying that we punched these people or scared them out of going into the street, which they even Spencer declared that Antifa had scared him off. That's not accurate. He doesn't give a fuck. He can pay for security. He needed the martyrdom. What was true was that we had put them in a hole. We had put them in a little box that they could not get out of. They were forced to be fringe. And they spent so much time out there that they all started betraying each other in a hysteria to see if they could get back either into some kind of a mainstream conservatism, reattached to MAGA, or in the other direction, if they could go super hard Nazi, they would have to cut the throats of moderates in the movement in a figurative sense. So we did put them in a pickle, and that, and you got to keep doing it. It has to be an ongoing campaign. It can't be, trust me when I tell you that following this stuff and calling it out, even with the relatively small audience that I have here and participating in the discourse, can be very taxing, because you have to eat this rat poison. You have to consume their content. You have to contextualize it. And you have to consume it carefully, so that you don't internalize it, because that can creep up on you too. You know what I mean? You could start thinking these fuckers sound reasonable if you don't keep your hands on the wheel. So you need to consume this stuff with an active mind, and defend yourself. Shield yourself from internalizing all kinds of wild shit that's been wrapped. Hateful ideas that are wrapped in technocratic, rationalist language. So that's just an advice to anybody that wants to come into this discourse, this discussion, this movement. You're going to have to, if you're on the speech end, right? Because I'm not the guy in the street. I'm the speech guy. I'm the one who represents these ideas on a rhetorical platform. Watching the alt-right is a deep, dark hole, man. It's a deep, dark hole. So just remember that it's going to take, in a long term, it's going to take a lot of what you have in terms of emotional resources. So, I would hope that this tiny little bit of humanity that seems to have popped up in Baked Alaska, that he seems to be tired of anti-Semitism, and he seems to be, he's like surrounding himself with a multicultural, but they're just MAGA people. Again, like, these people are still mostly right-wingers. They're what the alt-right calls MAGA-peds. They're like the based Mexicana, the based gay guy, the base. So again, these people are just, they're puppets. They're they're tokens that parrot the language of the alt-right and just divorce it from race, ostensibly. But it's a step back towards moderation, and maybe stepping back towards civic nationalism will lead a disillusioned, baked Alaska back to reality.